I consider this part two. I'm going to stick around just to see if it is working, because a lot of times when I do this, it ends up still not working until I have to reboot again. So let's see if folks join us. And in the meanwhile, what I'm doing is um, getting prepped for dinner. Okay, so I'm hoping that my internet connection is stable again. I think when I move my phone for some reason to this side of the kitchen, it always goes out. So I'm going to see if it's connected. If you are live with me and you can hear me okay, can you give me a thumbs up so I know that I am back live, or if I need to restart again, which happens often. Okay. I see folks are joining, so I think I am okay. I just want a audio on the other side. If you could let me know if in the comments whether I'm coming over live and okay. We are working on our high protein. Hey, okay. It's the internet issue. Yes, we're back. Okay, thank you so much. I think whenever I move the camera to this to close to the whenever I move the camera close over there, that happens. So I'm going to leave the camera here for now because I don't want to cut off again on you guys, because I know how annoying that can be. Okay, so what I am doing on the side on the kitchen right there, you can see, is I have started the, and I'm just going to bring this up closer so that maybe you guys can see. Yep, you could see from there. Um, so what is happening over here is we are boiling the sweet potatoes, and then I'm getting this ready, prepped to get the so that we can get our pork in here. And so what we're making tonight is a pork, but I'm also going to do a sauce with it, and it has something to do with these capers. I have no clue yet what it is, but we're going to get there. Okay. All right. And so 4 ounces of pork, about 25 grams of protein, which is a lot, right? Like, I think that's a lot of proteins. It's going to get me through tonight, and that's going to get me ready for in the morning. I don't eat anything until after I work out. And so I try to do all my proteins, a big protein before I go to bed, so that I can fast longer and go to the gym feeling still energized. Then I'll eat, and then whatever leftovers I have here, I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow. So it's making things easy for yourself, right? We don't have to make this difficult. I know a lot of people try to figure out, like, oh, what am I going to have for lunch and breakfast? Listen, lunch should already always be taken care of based on what you had for dinner last night. Like, that is something that you have to get in your head, that I'm just going to make this easier. I'm going to eat this twice. Hence the reason I cook often, because I cannot eat the same chicken breakfast, lunch, and dinner kind of thing. So I cook often, but I still think that I'm doing well and I'm still being efficient because I am cooking at night, but I'm using it in the morning, in the evening. All right. Leo, thank you so much. Military chicken nuggets. I had chicken nuggets at this weekend at Chick-fil-A. Okay. All right. So we're going in. I'm going to have to bring you a little. Let me see if I can bring you in. Oh, there you guys. There you are. I'm going to bring you in a little bit. I can't move for some reason, whenever I move my phone close to the pot, I lose things. So sorry if my head looks like ridiculously big, but this is so that you can see what's happening over there without me moving the camera. Pot, I have a skillet, a cast iron skillet going, and you already know the pork looks amazing. We seasoned it up don't forget that step. Okay, salt and pepper and throwing it on the thing is going to taste like you're missing something. So don't forget that step, please. Um, I keep forgetting to get some vegetable oil only because olive oil is such it burns really high and you're going to see all of the smoke because of how it burns, but that's what we have, okay? And this is real life. You know, I am not a chef in real life. I'm just doing this because I want to lose weight, but I don't want to eat boring food. That's literally, if somebody asks me like why do I do this, is because I want to lose weight, but I don't want to eat boring food. Okay? And so I cook at home. And I try to go out to eat at times and I'm just like, this is not working. Like the amount of empty carbs that you normally buy when you go out is crazy. Like you really have to think about it in advance if you want to go out to eat. And so it is what it is. Um, let's see. Okay, we're going to go in. The pot is smoking hot. I'm going to move a little side so you guys can hear that. And that I love hearing that sizzle. And this is a pretty big pot, so I'm going to be able to get 3 good pieces in here until. So what I'm going to do in the meanwhile, while that's going, I'm going to kind of lower the heat a little bit. I don't want it to burn. I'm going to start cutting up some garlic because now in my head, I'm starting to get an idea of what I want that sauce to taste like. And of course, we know garlic is going to be one of those. So you see what's happening over there. And I'm going to bring you down here. And so I'm going to get some garlic cut up in the meanwhile on the cutting board while I'm listening to the crackling of that pork being 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 made on that. Now, if you don't eat pork, because my husband doesn't eat pork, believe it or not, so we don't really get to. I don't cook pork that often, only when I'm in the mood for it. You can do this with any other meat, okay? So it doesn't have to be pork. We haven't had pork in a while. The kids and I eat it. As I said, my husband does not eat pork. So he is going to eat the stuff that I cooked earlier today. And I really hope you'll check out the channel when I drop that video, which is a high protein steak bites on a bed of homemade hummus with a cucumber salad. So I made that earlier today, knowing that I was going to be cooking this and that my husband doesn't make it. So I made 2 dinners ahead already. You know, efficiency, right, babe? Efficiency. So I'm going to make this now for us, and he gets the filet mignon for dinner. We will eat this tonight, and then tomorrow I'll probably have some of this. All right, I'm just gonna turn this because I think it's gonna cook very quickly. Oh, it's not ready. Okay, it's not ready yet. And what we want here is to do, Damien, thank you for coming back on. It's the internet on my side. I think whenever I move my camera close to under the hood of the stove, for some reason I always lose connectivity over there. So I'm gonna stay kind of put tonight until I figure out what I need to do, because I do want to be able to go live and it not break down on me every time I move the tripod around. But what we're doing now, don't burn the food. thanks for that. Let me check on it. Wow. This, you know, I don't know. For people who don't cook at home, I don't know. Like, it's, to me, it's just I hate going to restaurants. Let me know if this is you. I hate going to restaurants and buying something that, you know, in California, in San Diego, going out is very expensive. And the food is not as great as what you would have prepared at home. And I'm saying this, I'm on a tangent now because I'm smelling this right now. And I'm just smelling the seasonings coming together. I'm smelling how amazing it's gonna taste. And whenever I go out, for some reason, pork is one of those things that is only seasoned with like salt and pepper. Like I don't know why. Like it's always like missing something, which is to me seasonings. And so if you don't cook at home, you just miss those things. You always gonna think that that's how it's supposed to be cooked, salt and pepper, until you do it yourself and you realize you've unlocked another dimension of food. We had about 200 people in that here. Um, oh, possible tomato sauce: tomatoes, peppers, green olives. Ooh, Catherine. And I have the two tomatoes here. Oh my gosh, that sounds fantastic. That actually sounds really, really good. Catherine, that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do. And I think the garlic is going to be perfect with it. Oh my gosh. I think the garlic is going to be a perfect mix with there. Um, what about olives? Can we add olives in it and it not throw it off? Um, Honored to have that many, Damien. My condolences to you and the family. So I'm just cutting up this garlic. Well, because I love garlic. And I think what Catherine mentioned above, this is why I love cooking with you guys. Because I come on here and I sometimes literally don't know what I'm cooking. I'm just like, you ever go in your kitchen and you're like, all right, we're going to put something together. Don't know what it is until it's finished. And so, Catherine, what do you think olives, how will olives add to the flavor profile of this? I am really thinking that I might like that. All right, I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna bring it over so you guys can see what this looks like. And as I said, like, look at this. It looks so good. Now this is also gonna go back in the fire on the pot. So I'm not, it looks like a little bit of places that it's a little pink, but I'm okay with that because it's still gonna go back on with the sauce and simmering in that sauce a little bit. So I think we could be okay with that. So I'm gonna bring the last piece out. But look at this. And it smells divine. Like that's what I mean. Like you don't get that when you're not cooking your own food, You just unfortunately it's just something we miss out on. So absolutely okay with, going out on Friday nights. I normally eat out, but I'm getting more and more annoyed because I'm not really, you know, I'm not getting the stuff that I really want. Like my protein drops because of, the places we end up picking to go for happy hour is just like carbs and carbs and carbs. Um, but this is a lot of garlic, and I really think I like that. Olives classic in a caponata sauce. Grate your grate your tomato over your pan to instantly get juices, and your tomatoes will be peeled. Just cut it in half. So just grate it. Okay. Seems like you guys got this in the bag. I'm going to get some sleep. It's been quite a day. Sorry again, condolences, and yes, get some rest and start the week again. Really sorry to hear about the passing. Um, he seems he seems like a good guy. He is. He is. Okay, so Catherine, I'm literally walking with you on this one. So are we grating? You're saying that we're grating this over the pot. We're gonna do some. We're gonna do some capers, and you know what? I'm gonna use the bone sauce then, the bone broth. Sorry, this is gonna add a little more um, protein. So we are at this is 18 grams of protein for a serving with only 80 calories. So we're gonna try to figure out how to get this in there, and then I do have some. I do have some olives that I think might actually round this dish off very nicely as a sauce for the um, pork. What I've done now is added the last batch of pork in there. And so that's going to be, that's on over there. But if you're just joining, this is the first batch of pork that we have going. It smells divine. It smells divine. And so we're just going to make a quick sauce. And look how easy and quick that came together. Okay. And then we have our sweet potatoes going nicely on a high fire and it's starting to bubble. So hopefully that will be done shortly. I'm just going to grab my Greek olives. I have some sliced Greek olives. So I'm going to grab that in here. And then you guys are going to see us put that all together in a nice medley. I might do some, if I have onions. You know how I love me some garlic and onions mixture. Let me see if we have any onions. This is what cooking's about. You know, grab what you have. I'm going to get some fresh thyme. I'm going to make sure we add the fresh thyme to that. And let's see if I have any onions left. I don't think I have any onions. I just went to the supermarket too. So annoying. All right. Well, we don't have any onions, but we have green onions. And so we're going to make this work together. Okay. And so I have a little piece of this left. And this is what it's like. In the Caribbean, I will tell you this story. There's something about, like, I grew up very, very poor. Very, very poor. But we always say this. Like, I don't know how my parents did it and everyone else who we know in the same situation, but they were always able to put something on the table, you know? And it always felt like they were doing the most, even with the little things they had. Like my mom to this day, because I'm not as good as she is when she comes over, and I would say, "Oh, I have to go to the supermarket to get A, B, and C," and she says all the time, "Oh, you have enough in here. We could put something together." And it's that ability to look in your pantry, your fridge, your freezer, and pull things together and make a meal that's healthy, that's delicious, and that seems as though, you either spent all day doing it or spent a lot of money spent a lot of money on the ingredients. I'm not there yet. Like I still, like if I'm thinking of something, I still go to the supermarket to try to get all the specific ingredients for it. But like tonight, I'm loving how this is coming together because, as I said, I didn't really have an idea of how I would make the sauce, but just talking to you guys, and Catherine's like, "Oh, you have this, throw this in together." And that's the level of expertise I want to get to, where I have things in my pantry, my fridge, my freezer, and don't always have to be tied to a menu or tied to a recipe. Being able to say, okay, well, if I don't have this, this is still going to be able to come together. So what I'm doing is just cutting up some green onions because I don't have onions. And I'm going to make that in at first with the garlic. Please, everyone, make sure and support Ayana and her channel. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Pour make better cooks. Yes, yes. Use all, waste nothing. I've been making my own nutritionist yeast soon. So cheaper. It's it's so true. Like as I said, like my mom, like I'm always like, oh, we don't have this, we don't have this, there's nothing here. And she can come over and put together a full meal that looks like fit for a king, you know? Fit for a king. Okay, so here is our pork. And as I said, this is going to go back in that glaze of a sauce. So I'm so excited about this. All right, Catherine, I don't want to move my camera because I don't know if I'm going to cut off again. So I'm just going to raise you guys up higher so we can figure out what's going on over there. And I'm just going to bring you in a little closer. And there we go. Sorry for the janky setup, but every time I move this thing closer to here, it goes haywire. Okay, so here's one of the reasons I wanted to use the cast iron. Is like all the different. Let me come back a little bit. All the different seasonings that was on the pork is now like intermingled on in here, like it's seasoned the pot, right? And so I'm just gonna add a little bit of olive oil now. And we are going to saute our our garlic and green onion. So the pot's already hot enough. I lowered it substantially because I don't want to burn the garlic. I may want a little more olive oil here. I'm trying to watch the calories, so I normally tend to go very under when it comes to the olive oil. But I want to get that in there. And then what we're going to do is going to add some bone broth in a little bit to deglaze the pan. So right now, if you can see, probably not, the pan has all the, let me see. 1 second. Okay. There you go. So right now the pan has all of those yummy things that were happening before in here, but it's stuck to the pot. So when you hear someone say deglazing it, if you add liquid now, all of that seasoning is going to kind of rise up and it won't be stuck at the bottom. And that's what we want. Okay. And so I'm going to use a little bit of our bone broth because of the amount of protein that I could get in here. If I could get this open, that would be nice. And so I have the pot on very low because I don't want the garlic to burn. And so you see all of that happening. It's just all the stuff is coming up. And it's almost like that's what you call deglazing it. Look at all that sauce is in there. But that's all seasoned. That is all seasoned in there. And so we're going to add a little more. And look, you could probably rinse this pot out right now without doing anything. So now I can raise the fire up a little more. And now we're going to start making our sauce. Okay? And I'm loving the fact that we're able to use the bone broth as the base. Okay? On here. Okay. Let's go ahead and start adding this stuff in as we're going to do what Catherine actually said. Cut on the equator on the tomato and then grate it. Olive oil is omega-6, which will help liberalize omega-12s. That's the hard fat in your liver. Okay, so Catherine, equator. I know this is weird. Okay, we're going to go like that. Okay, and maybe this is probably going to thicken the sauce a little bit. So this is our tomato, and I'm just going to get a grater in here. And that's what we're going to do. I've never done this before, but we're going by what you guys are talking here. It's just kind of mushing it. Am I supposed to be mushing it? I might do one and then cut the others. Because right now it's just like definitely a mush, you know. But I do like the thickness, not the thickness, but I do want like chunks of tomato. So I'm going to use this guy. I did a half. These are vine ripened tomatoes, so they're pretty sweet, to be honest with you. All right. And so I'm just gonna cut them up like rough cut and get it in there. And just we are building a sauce as we speak, like building the plane as we do it. And now I love the fact that obviously you don't want to do the sauce first. You want to do the sauce after because you want to be able to capitalize on all the seasonings that's going to stick from the pork before it's going in there. All right, I'm going to use the cutting board over here. And the reason why I'm using the other cutting board is because I still have some of the seasonings from the um, from the pork on there. So I'm just going to go in and cut up my rough cut, nothing fancy, but I'm doing them pretty big and putting it in here. And that will probably cut down actually the sauce stays in there, it will probably absolutely cut down. Okay, the next thing I want to do is add the capers. Okay, we're going to be adding some Goya capers. I'm only going to do half a bottle. I'm not going to do the whole bottle. So, and I'm sorry you are in that situation looking over there like that. It's because every time I move this camera, it ends up knocking out my reception. So I'm just going to go with what I could do right now. So here into the bottle is about half of the capers. If you want to do more, over to you, but I'm just going to do half because I'm also going to add some olives as well. Capers and olives, also one of those things that are just a nice, just a nice pairing. Okay, saucing it. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Catherine. Okay, so I'm on the right path. I'm on the right path. While that is happening, I have some fresh thyme. I want to drop that in here. Don't worry about taking it off the sleeve. Just going to put it in there. Ooh, that thyme alone is going to give it a very nice flavoring. I'm going to raise my fire to about medium. And I'm just going to check on my potatoes in the meanwhile. Ooh, those are getting nice. Yep. Those are almost done. Perfect. So they'll probably be done in time for me to switch over. Good. All right. So we have the thyme in here. We have the tomatoes in here. I'm going to put a little bit of butter, just a little bit for some fat, just a little bit. Don't go crazy because remember, we are still watching the calories, and butter is one of those things that's going to give us a lot of calories. But this butter I'm going to use is this pure Irish butter. Absolutely love it in food. I don't know what it is about it. I think it reminds me of the food that we call in Trinidad. We have this butter that you use in cooking. It's like cooking butter, but cooking butter. I don't remember the name, but I'm just going to go in with a little bit. Nothing much. Nothing much. Okay. Remember, we are still trying to create a dish that's healthy and that will give us what we need for our nutrition, help us lose weight. So I'm going to get that in there. And this is coming together so nicely. Okay, last thing in, we're going to get some of our olives in there. So I don't want to pour it in because these olives have have liquid in it already. So I'm just going to use a spoon to grab out some here. And then I have some lemon. I want to squeeze a little bit of lemon, although we have a little bit of the tartness. So let me taste it first and determine if I need lemon. What are you guys thinking? Do you think this is going to taste amazing? Um, Add some caper juice. I did not. Oh, I threw out all the capers. I didn't. I should have done that next time. Thanks for letting me know about that. That was on me. Maybe I can add some of the olive juice. But this is, ooh, I want to make sure you guys can really see this. This is what this is looking like. It looks delicious. And then I'm going to taste it, see if we need anything. We shouldn't need salt because of the capers. I'm going to get out of your way. We shouldn't need salt. We shouldn't need anything. But, you know, you never know when you get into taste and it just doesn't taste all that. No. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, what a last thing to do now, I'm going to nestle our pork back in there. Let it get some of that juice. Oh my gosh. And this is exactly how quick this came together. Okay, I came down. I only knew I wanted to use capers and I knew I wanted to use pork. And that's how quickly, right? You have a little gravy to go on this. And that's one thing I would say in the Caribbean. Everything has to have like a gravy or a juice. And I'm going to just pour that back all in there. All the nice juice that came off of the pork while it was resting goes right back in there. And this is so rich, beautiful, but yet you should not feel anything. I'm going to make sure my fire is low. And I'm just going to put a dash, a little more bone broth in it because I love the juice. And I'm going to just let that sit for a little bit. And there we go. I mean, fantastic meal comes together. Okay. I need the acid. So I am going to put a little bit. I have some lemon. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of lemon in there. This is all about building flavors, okay? And don't be afraid to try new things. Like, as long as you have the main things down, season your food, and you know, okay, there we go. Oh my goodness. Fantastic. Enough. Okay, I'm just cleaning back up because what is happening on the other side is that guy is ready to go. And so we're going to make mashed potatoes, but we're going to use sweet potatoes. And so let me get back to regular size. We're going to make mashed potatoes, but with sweet potatoes. And if you can get into the habit of ditching the russet potatoes, in of itself, you're already ahead of the game. You will be ahead of the game. So try it the next time you want some mashed potatoes. Just try it. Like, why do you have to have the russet? Okay. All right. So I'm going to grab those. And as I said, I'm going to have I'm just going to keep my thing just a little bit so the sauce thickens a little bit. And this is sitting in like a bone broth that's adding extra protein. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okra is the natural way to thicken. Oh my gosh, I cannot. We can't go down that road. I cannot eat okra. That that is the one thing that I cannot do. I'm looking for a very large bowl so I can work with the mashed potatoes. Let me see. All right. So we're going to use this guy. And I need a thong so we can get these things going. Now, we're not going to use all right, let's see if this thing works, that it can peel off quickly, because if not, then I'm stuck. Because this is what I have to use the I hate that's the one thing I hate. I hate peeling potatoes. I hate peeling garlic. There's such a time-consuming time suck. Um, this doesn't look like it's a little hard actually. I'm gonna probably grab from the bottom and keep these on. Doesn't look like they're all done. I did put a lot of these in here. This, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This thing is looking, it's okay, it's not ready yet. Okay, so we're gonna do that. In the meanwhile, I was thinking I'm not gonna use butter. So what can I use to make this sweet potato? Because I don't want to have all that butter. That's going to defeat the purpose of trying to top out at 50 grams of protein and then ending up with all those calories. So what are some other ideas for us to use to make the mashed potato? Because that's where we're going to put as the bed, and then we're going to put our pork chop on the top of that with our gravy and the sauce that we made it. There are two approaches: either to concentrate the flavor, which is using salt, or to open up the pores on the tongue using an acid flavor tip for those of you cooking. Nice. Okay. I don't olive oil, Judy. So if we use olive oil, would we not be adding a lot more calories? I understand the fat is not going to be the same like butter, but would I be in trouble with my calorie count? Let me, roll in a towel to get the skin off. I'm just trying to think. What about if we do cottage cheese? How would cottage cheese work with the mashed potatoes? What do you guys think? Is that too far off? Is that something that will throw off the flavoring? Let's see. Do I even have cottage cheese? I have some cottage cheese here. What do you guys think? Can I do the mashed potatoes with cottage cheese? Brenda, we are cooking. We have already finished most of the dinner. We did a pork chop with I'm not sure, with a caper and olive sauce with some tomato and bone broth. It smells delicious. It's going to taste even better. And right now we want to make a sweet potato mashed potato, because we're trying to keep our calories sort of low with the protein pretty high. So I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing there. Cool guy, I don't even see a comment from you, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. But right now, we are trying to figure out, how would cottage cheese taste? I'm gonna go for it. I mean, I'm thinking it will be fine. I'm definitely thinking it will be fine. So we could start with one, right? Could kind of test it. I mean, do any of you test your food in here? So I have one of these here. Let's go ahead and test it. Why not? The others are still cooking. And so I think somebody says roll it to get, oh, there we go. The skin is so thin. It's like, oh, but this is working. It's also very hot. But this is actually working. So I'm going to continue. But it's very hot. Let me get another piece. I'm going to test this one. So this is how you do these things, right? You just test it. So I'm not going to waste all of it, right? And if it tastes like, what am I doing? Then we know, don't do that again. but you guys are going to be there for the test with me. So what we're trying to do is test, we're trying to make sweet potato mash, but I want to keep the calories down. So I'm not going to put butter. And I'm also not going to put olive oil because that's going to kind of bring up the calories as well. And if I'm able to get away with this, then I really would top off on a really high amount of protein because we have our pork chop. We also have the bone broth. And then if we use cottage cheese for this, then I probably will definitely be in the 50s for the thing. So let's get that going. Let's mix this one up and let's see how it works. Let's get a masher in here. Okay, so this is definitely nice and ready. Okay, we have a small little piece that I'm using as our test subject. And I think this is how food comes together, right? Like somebody says, why not? Let me try it. I mean, I'm not going to lose all of it by using just a small piece. But I am curious, like, can we make this taste great using cottage cheese and maybe some seasonings and stuff like that? Okay. And it's just a small serving size, basically. Okay. We have some cottage cheese here. I might use a little bit of the butter still just to give some flavoring. Low-fat milk with butter extract, dry milk, and Greek yogurt. Texture of cottage cheese will be wrong because it has a lot of protein in it, so it will give a stringy texture. Nice. Let me see. Are you sure? Go for the milk or yogurt. Potatoes need more moisture. It's good for making. I'm going to go. Guys, let's try it, okay? It's a small amount. I do need, as she says, moisture. Okay. Definitely not feeling that my cottage cheese is showing like little marshmallows. So let's go. Let's go in here. I have some oat milk. So let's try that. Okay. I think one of the things I could do is probably, if I had a whipper, right? You know, like the cake batter, to whip it a little bit so I don't get the, because I did get, the oat milk got me back to creamy. Okay. All right, let's get a little bit of, because I feel like to get rid of those, to get the cottage cheese to not have that look like I'm eating, you know, marshmallows or whatever it is, we do need that gone. So what I might do is put it in my little blender really quickly. All right, we obviously going to need some salt. You can't have this without salt. Like that, that's dead without it. We need some black pepper. Absolutely need some black pepper. What else do I need? Should I put in a little bit of butter? Okay, why not? I've learned to cook, by the way. Cool guy asks how many kids you have. I think the answer is 2, but I may be wrong. I have 2, yeah. The curds, yes. That's what I'm not loving that picture of the curds. But let's taste it, okay? That's one thing. The look is different. Catherine was right. It needs moisture. Okay. I'm in my fridge. Should we still add some yogurt? It doesn't taste horrible. It feels like it could come together, but I absolutely need something else with it. And I feel like this is something that I need to put in a blender, or put in my so that it's not like this. So let me grab my blender really quickly. I am down to I'm down to try anything. Here's my blender. I've never seen people make mashed potatoes. A lot of people make it through like using the whipping blender and stuff like that, right? Actually, you know what I do have? Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I think this will be a little easier to do it this way. And I'm losing my name for this thing. What is this thing called again? Help me out. Help me out. Right? What are you guys thinking? What is this thing called again? And literally forgetting the name of this. In your small before. Yeah, definitely. Yes. There it is. This is Judy. That's what we got here going here. Yes. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Because it's not tasting bad, but it's not looking great. And I think I may need a little bit of more oat milk because I don't have low-fat milk in the house. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this. A little bit more oat milk. Right now we're in the test kitchen. Just call it the test kitchen. That's what we're in. We're trying to get sweet potato mash without using butter and a lot of olive oil, which is what I would have done easily. Okay, but I'm trying to think outside the box, and I'm trying to really push myself into not being lazy about how we do these things. And I think what I could do the next time, as somebody suggested, is whip the cottage cheese first so that it's not, Okay. Okay. I feel like the blender took up most of the food. All right, let's see if we can get that off of here. Okay. And now this is looking better. I think the next time, obviously, for the rest of them, what I would do is definitely whip the cottage cheese first so that it goes in more smoothly. I didn't want to put the yogurt in there because I just don't want that taste of the yogurt for some reason. I'm just not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. Now I want to put a little more seasoning in this, just a little bit. So I'm going to put a little garlic powder in here and a little bit of parsley. I think I have some dry parsley. If not, I think I might have some. Okay. What do you think? All gone thanks to the help. I'm low vision, so dedicate and appreciate your care. It's called the exact thing you need right now. Oh my God. I love that. Okay. Still seeing a little bit of flecks of white, but I'm okay with that for now. Okay. And so let me put this on the side. And I want to finish what I'm going to do, a couple of things to finish this off just for the flavor. It's all about the flavor at the end of time. Ooh, bone broth. Girl, you are cooking on all cylinders tonight. Let's try that. Okay. A little bit of bone broth in there. I'm going to go in with a little bit of garlic powder. Where is the garlic powder? There we go. Just like if you were making garlic mash, right? We're seasoning it a little bit. And then I want some parsley. But I think I don't have, I don't know if I have dried parsley. So I might have some fresh parsley. Do I? Yep. Nope, nope, nope. No fresh parsley. All right. Next up is a little bit of basil. Okay. So this is the test one. If this comes out nicely, then we just make the whole batch, but then you don't have to stick around for me making the whole batch, but this is how we do this. I'm going to just test this. Yeah, the garlic. Oh my gosh. Okay. 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 Guys, that came together magnificently. Magnificently. So before you go, let me plate my food, show y'all how this came out. I have rosemary. I have some rosemary. I do. And some dill here. Wait, do I not? I do have some rosemary. I thought I had parsley for some reason. Ellie, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much. So right before you do the rest of the potatoes in a separate cup, take the cottage cheese with some of your yogurt, blend that together, and then you could add it. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. All right. Oh, this rosemary is just such a, ooh, it just does everything. Okay, so here's what we have. If I were to plate this for someone, it's not a lot, but we're gonna do the most. Let me show y'all what we're doing here. Let me move some of this away. So you're in the test kitchen. That bone broth idea. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna put this away because we're gonna need it for the rest of them. Oh my gosh. And this, I want all of it on there because I can't believe how great this tastes. Like, who would have thought, right? Who really would have thought? Heating it for 30 seconds and we'll smooth it out, the curds. Okay, got it. I'm gonna go in with the heat from the thing right now because this is still very hot. Oh my gosh. You guys have to see this. This is what I mean. Like, these are the things, like, why would I give this up for some expensive restaurant that's gonna not even come close to giving me what I need? Why? This is what I mean. You can cook all of this at home and it still be better. And it's not a salad. You guys have known we're not just doing regular salads here. Okay? We're not just doing regular salads here. And so here is dinner. This smells, I am going to tell you now, like, I'm going to devour this tonight because the sweet potato is just so good. That garlic powder with the I think the bone broth bringing it together. You don't really taste the cottage cheese like that. There is magic in this right now. And then this pork chop with the capers and olive sauce on top is just delicious. Delicious. Can't even speak. It's delicious. It's going to be like, as I said, my husband doesn't eat pork and there's a lot there, but I probably would eat this for 2 or 3 nights because the pork tasted amazing. The sauce tastes great. And then to put it on a bed of sweet potatoes and not feel like I'm overdoing it. And the amount of protein that is in this is at least 50 grams of protein. So I promise you tomorrow I will get up and go to work, go work out, and not have to eat between until 9:30, 10, and not feel anything. If you are someone trying to lose weight and you're tired of eating the same boring food, then you should be giving this video a thumbs up. You should be following me. And I did a video today where I'm going to do lives and videos. So please check out the channel. I'm going to drop that by tomorrow evening. And that's an easy steak bite on hummus with a cucumber salad. I really hope that you will check that out. Just let me know. Write down what you did so you remember. Yeah, I'm gonna go do it right now, and I have the idea in my head right now what I need to do. I was talking to the plate. um, but this is delicious. It's going to be amazing. Hopefully, you can try it soon and let me know if you do. On my Instagram, post a picture, tag me, Thrifting Diva, if you do it. So, thank you all, though, for coming on. Thanks for all the help, though. Catherine, girl, you came through on this meal. This is, if you were here, I would bring it right over to your house. Thank you so much for your help on this. As I said, I came downstairs not knowing how I was gonna make it, but for sure, this meal is hands down one of my favorite right now. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna make the rest of the potatoes there so that I can get that going. I need to definitely blend that cottage cheese with the yogurt mix before I put it in there. So I'm gonna do that right now. And then we're gonna have dinner. So thank you so much. Please give the video a thumbs up if you haven't. And more importantly, please subscribe and check out all the other videos on my channel if you're looking for ways to make high protein meals, not feel repetitive, boring, or restrictive. Okay? Until next time, have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'll be back here tomorrow evening at 6:30 Pacific time. Not sure what I'm cooking, but it will be something delicious. It will be something high protein, and it will be something healthy and good for the body. All right? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.